Good morning, 7 days out from the Kentucky Derby, and I sit perched here in the first turn of the world's most legendary racetrack, ready for a individual work, not in company, for Happy Match, who we're going to gauge this morning if he is race ready for next Saturday. Just a little maiden race, just a little old maiden race on Kentucky Derby Day, which should be fun if he's ready. We'll also have a work from another one of our West Point Thoroughbred horses, Toasting Master, this morning. Tammy Fox is going to be aboard Happy Match here in a few minutes. And the reason I'm in the first turn, aside from the fact that Dale's horses, Dale Romans, our trainer's horses, typically work to the 7/8 pole, which is that green and white pole that you see right in front of us, so I can really gauge how they're doing to the end of the work. And the finish is really everything for all of us that are observers of racehorses that are training, breezing, working. I had one of our partners yesterday, understandably, because they're just learning the game, talk about some slow works, which we hear from time to time. Works are different every single time, and slower works, in parentheses, are not necessarily bad works. As a matter of fact, they can be much better works than zippy fast, fastest at the distance that day at that track type of works. From a horseman's perspective, I typically like to see works that are not fast. I mean, not, for example, for 5/8 today, I'd love to see a 101 or a 102 from Happy Match, who is now coming into the turn. You can see the red helmet of Tammy Fox, and the horse that you see really right in the center of your camera range here, right, kind of just by itself, going the wrong way on the racetrack, is Happy Match. Going to go 5/8. I don't have my binoculars with me. They're on their way from South Florida. Teal Albertrani had them and did a fabulous job all wintertime with them, so I'll have better video here. But for the time being, I'm going to periscope this work. It's not how fast they go, it's how they go fast. So true, Rob Masiello. By the way, your Smart Strike colt, Fire for Effect, should have arrived last night. And I'm going to go over to the Romans barn after this work and see if he is nestled in. Tammy looks like she's looking over here at me, which is silly because I'm the least important person pretty much today having to do with this work. The rain, which everyone predicted was going to be taking place today, has held off, and it will hold off, I think, until about 9 or 9:30. So a lot of the Kentucky Derby horses that were scheduled to work today worked yesterday because of that concern of rain. Dale Romans, old pro that he is, said, nah, I'm gonna wait. I've lived in Louisville for far too long, nearly 50 years now, and the weather is never predictable around here, so I'm going to go ahead and stick to my schedule. So Brody's Cause will work this morning after the renovation break in the 15 minutes that we have for the Oaks and the Kentucky Derby horses. So Dale looks smart again by doing nothing on Friday other than watching his horses train. So there's Happy Match, and he'll skedaddle out of here, start his 5/8 of a mile breeze here in due order. The racetrack, it's a little chewed up, but still in good shape at 7:58 in the morning. This will be the last set before they renovate the racetrack, and I may just stay up here for the Kentucky Derby workouts, which are always some of my favorite moments of the year in racing. I do remember last year how just amazing it was to watch American Pharoah train up to the Derby and then luck would have it, or as tradition would have it for Bob Baffert, he came back to Churchill Downs to train for the Preakness, and stayed here at Churchill Downs for the Preakness, and then came back to train for the Belmont. Just really special to watch him progress, and to know that he was on his game. I felt pretty good about the Triple Crown taking place after the Preakness and watching him train for the Belmont shortly thereafter. All right, Happy Match is off to begin his work with Tammy aboard. This is our 3-year-old son of Tiznow, kind of a later developing type of horse because of his pedigree. It's a good pedigree. There's some stakes winners on the mama's side of the family, and of course Tiznow is well represented in the Derby this year. I believe Whitmore is by Tiznow, and there may be one other horse that's by Tiznow. So there goes Tammy, and I apologize, it's not going to be very useful for a little while here because she's so far away. She's just going to be hitting the 5/8 pole right now, bing, but she'll start at the half and finish up here to the 7. So we'll be picking up Happy Match down the lane and really watching him kind of go through the turn here past the wire. That's going to be the critical part as the clock strikes 8 o'clock here in Louisville, Kentucky at Churchill Downs. You see the renovation break has not begun yet, and I'll see if I can pick up Happy Match in the turn to the top of the stretch. That may be him right there by himself, now hitting the quarter pole. Yeah, hugging the rail, that's going to be him. Let's see how he finishes and gallops out. The time will be less important, much less important. I emphasize that as always to especially my clients and partners. Finishing to the wire here and past to the 7/8 is, I think, what we're going to be seeing from Happy Match. I'm liking what I'm seeing so far. Good energy. Ears up. Nice stretch and reach. Nice and easy. Yeah, that'll work. Go back and check with Dale, see what he thinks, but I'm very happy with that. Extremely happy with that. No pun intended. Glad I made it. Glad the rain held off.